am I at my core? I'm a woman refined by fire, but not consumed by it.
I've been an award-winning leader celebrated for my success, but I've also been laid off, survived a house fire, and battled chronic illness. Every setback became a setup to rise, reinvent, and shine brighter. I've created the Connie podcast, a space to help you rise and reinvent with confidence. Join me every Saturday and step boldly into your next chapter.
Hey, unicorns! Welcome back to the Connie podcast. Special time and place tonight, Friday evening, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, to make a few schedule adjustments around my life. So I thank you so much for being here, jumping in and watching live tonight. If you are watching live, go ahead and check in, say hello, and drop your coffee order in the comments. Because just like your coffee today, today's conversation is going to be very bold, hot, and real. All right. And if you guys are watching on the replay, certainly let me know. Come back, type replay. Let me know that you're watching it, not live. And I'll come back and engage with you as you watch. I certainly want to let you know that I see you and I appreciate you. So thank you so much for watching, whether live or on the replay. If you are watching live, drop where you are watching from. I certainly love to see our reach and just where we are and where our watchers and listeners are all across the world. For those who might be new here, my name is Connie, and I'm your host, your resilience coach, and your reminder that it's never too late to rise again. I help individuals rise from layoffs, rejection, and invisibility into careers where they're seen, valued, and boldly reinvented as they step into their next chapters. And today we are cracking open something brand new. A sneak peek into my work in progress memoir, a book I am titling Over Hard or Over Easy. I won't disclose the full title, but I'll give you a little sneak preview of what is in the works today. And, this conversation isn't just, and the book memoir, it's not just about eggs. Although if you're offering, I'll take mine scrambled. This episode is about choice, pressure, and the kind of heat that refines you, not ruins you, right? Just enough heat to get right what we want to become and not burnt and overkill, right? All right, get this music down a little bit today. Thank you guys so much for watching and checking in. Let's see. Looks like I've got Dallas in the house. Thank you so much. I see you. I see you so much, Dallas. Thank you so much for joining and checking in today. All right. So today, to kick off the episode, I'm actually going to read a little excerpt from my book as I've read it so far. Like I said, memoir in progress, but wanted to kind of bring this home and my thought and process behind everything. So without further ado, here we go. The question is, over hard or over easy? I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not ordering eggs at brunch. But really, this isn't about breakfast. It's about your life. That simple question, how do you want your eggs, sums up something so much deeper. You see, every day we're given a choice to go all in with purpose, passion, and faith, or take the easier route, just doing enough to get by. When I wrote that, I wasn't just sitting in a cafe. I was sitting in the aftermath of one of the hardest seasons of my life, where I had to decide whether to stay soft and safe or let the heat make me just a little bit stronger. Do I give up in the face of adversity, or do I conquer in the dark? And let's be honest, we've all been there. The job loss, the unpromotion, the diagnosis, the lost relationships, the hard life curveballs we never saw coming. It's in those moments you are forced to decide. Do I face it over hard with that resilience and grit and faith and just endure the heat and become something better? Or do I stay over easy, comfortable, but missing the growth that God is trying to cook up in me? Friend, if you've been waiting for a sign to go all in, this is it. Your life isn't meant to simmer on low heat. You are designed to rise. And maybe your last season burned a little. The layoff, the invisibility, the almost promotion. That doesn't mean you failed. It means that you're being seasoned in this moment. So let's call out that hustle culture, right? It tells you to fry fast and look perfect. But kingdom living says, slow down, trust the process, and let God flip you in His timing. Layoffs and rejection, they are certainly not endings, but they are marinating moments. Don't rush through them. Let the seasoning soak in, because God's preparing you a gourmet plate. And here's the thing, friends. Motivation feels good. It's that first sip of coffee in the morning. It's warm, it's energizing, it's inspiring. But you and I both know coffee cools, and likewise, motivation fades. And when it does, when motivation is gone, that's when the real work begins. That's where character is built. That's where your faith is tested. And that's where we find out if we meant it when we prayed, God, not my will, but thy will be done. It's in those ordinary Tuesdays, those late night drives home, those quiet cubicle moments when no one's watching. That's where you decide, will I stay over easy, or will I endure the scramble and trust the heat? And I've been there myself lately, feeling idle, like all my ingredients are in the bowl, but nothing's happening, nothing's mixing. It's that seasoning, that marinating, all the ingredients are there, and yet I'm sitting in it. The gifts, the talents, they just feel still. But here's what I've learned in that stillness. Don't quit because the feelings have faded. Keep flipping, keep stirring things together. Let those flavors sit and still develop. We don't feel our way into action. We act our way into feeling. There's an acronym for ACT. It's acknowledging a change in trajectory. You have to make a change, put in effort to then see the results. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. To get different results, we have to act differently. Step out of comfort, step out of those everyday, normal, usual habits. We have to break the cycles and be and become something transformed and something different. And I'll tell you that God honors consistency over intensity. The thought of intensity, too much of a good thing can be bad, right? So too much too fast may not provide the result we're looking for, but a little bit consistently, day by day, week by week, month by month, that's where transformation happens. And yes, it's hard, awful hard, but transformation will cost you something. Sacrifice, discipline, loneliness, but it is and will always be worth it. The world cheers highlight reels, celebrating what looks glamorous, but no one cheers for quiet obedience, doing what's necessary, conquering in the dark, as I said a moment earlier. And that's okay. The world is not your audience. Today, it is you versus you. So fight on. Maybe today you do feel scrambled. Maybe the life you thought you imagined isn't what life looks like in front of you. You might be whispering, how did I even get here? I've been there. For those who may not know my story, there was a period in my life where I was laid off twice in a period of 10 months. 10 months. Laid off from 2 different industries. Laid off the first time, jumped into something new, trying to take those transferable skills, rebuild myself into something new, only to have the rug pulled out from under me again. Man, did I feel like I fell down the stairs. Whew. It's like, what? How could I be this naive? But I recovered. I continue to recover. So, if any of what I just said sounds like you, let me speak this clearly. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified by what seems to be the mess you're in. And you are not the product of what didn't happen. You're still in God's hands. And His kitchen never runs out of ingredients. There are no substitutions needed. And He knows exactly what to do with a scrambled story. You know, for olive oil to be made, olives have to be pressed. Pressure. They have to be pressed to get that olive oil out of them. For wine to be made, grapes have to be crushed. That doesn't make them worthless. It makes them transformative. That pressure, whether it's from oil or from wine out of grapes, is preparation for something that's of greater value. As I thought about that this week, you have to trust the process. Trust the changes that's happening in yourself after that layoff, after that unpromotion, the demotion, the shakeup, the life struggles, the curveball you didn't expect. But you come out of it and you're given a time of reflection, that time to marinate, to look at that introspection, see yourself, gather yourself, and move forward boldly in confidence. Some of the most powerful testimonies come from the messiest beginnings. So pause, breathe, and don't panic. I'm going to pause here just for a second just to take a look at our socials here. All right. I've got a lot of Dallas folks in the house tonight. Give you guys a shout out. We've got Be in the Moment. Hello. Thank you for joining on Instagram. And Jordan Photographer. Thank you guys for listening on Instagram as well. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. And let's see, on Facebook, we have Miss Charlene Lewis. Too much of one thing. Let's see. I don't know if I can see all my messages. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, we've got Trinidad in the house. All right, so too much of one thing is not a balance. Yes, absolutely. Too much of one thing can put us out of whack, for sure. Miss Lewis been laid off less than a year apart within a few months twice as hard. Yes, yep. And there's always a message in the mess. Yes. All right. Hello, Miss Fraser. Thank you so much for commenting. We've got Sonia Dungy as well and Miss Charlene Lewis. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you're getting value. And I hope the content so far is inspiring for you guys. You can take something away and apply it to your life for sure. All right. So let me jump back into everything here. So remember that life is going to always test your temperature. But you're not here to burn out, to overwork, to grind and hustle into the culture that just drives us into the ground. We're here to rise. For bread to be made, it must be proofed after it's been mixed and that yeast has been activated. It must be tried by heat to expand. And elevation is all over it, just like elevation is all over you. The future requires execution in the proving process. And as that came to my mind, that visual, as I was putting this topic together, it seems so simple, and yet there's such a beautiful transformation. We've got all these ingredients that go into a bowl that we mix together. We add the yeast and the liquids and start to mix it, and the consistency of the mixture changes. So there's something happening. There's an activation of something in the process. And then it has to be either proofed, just in room temperature, or proofed in the oven, just depending on what you're doing. And it's covered usually during that process. I thought how interesting that is about life. We have all of our skills and talents and things in a bowl, and things are not happening. And yet when we add certain skill sets and training and events and ingredients, then, our consistency changes. We've grown, we've developed into something different. We're the same ingredients, but in a new transformative form. And then as we're left to marinate in the heat or sit at room temperature, we're covered. We're in darkness, potentially, and it feels like we're isolated. But in that isolation, in that proving process, things are happening. You're making investments in yourself. You're skilling up on your, abilities and skills and values. You're putting in this work, and things are happening, but it doesn't seem like anything's happening. And yet, in a short 30, 20 minutes, whatever that, as you're making bread, whatever that proving process is, things are happening. It just doesn't appear so right away. As time passes, we uncover it, and that bread, that dough has expanded tremendously, right? The yeast is activated, and now it's much larger than it was. It's still the composition of everything it was before, just in a new form. There's transformation. And then once it's proved, we're in the oven, right? Whatever the temperature is, 375 degrees, 400 degrees. It's in extreme heat for a long period of time. And then boom, looks like overnight success, right? Oh, okay. Big things have happened. You got the great job. You got the title. You got, you just feel on top of the mountain. But that wouldn't have happened without the transformation in the ingredients and the proving and everything you had to go through for that loaf of bread to be what it is. And then you're taking it out of the oven. You're taking it out of a form. If you put it in a form, you're slicing it, putting that butter on, and enjoying the winnings of success. Life is the same way. And when motivation ends, keep showing up, keep stirring, keep trusting the chef, our God above, who never leaves the kitchen. Even the best chefs have a team, sous chefs, a prep cook, someone who's there to help them bring the recipe to life. And today, if you need that support, I'd be honored to walk with you. So let's talk through your next steps together in a one-on-one session. You can book free time with me through my calendar, comment time, or send me a message directly, and I'll send you my calendar with available times. Together, we'll find your recipe for resilience. Until next time, guys, keep shining, keep rising, keep showing up, and keep choosing your life over hard. Before we close it out here, I'll take a look at our socials. We've got Growing and Glowing watching as well, listening. This analogy is great. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad it brought the topic to life. I'm huge on imagery myself. I am a visual learner. So if you can present something to me in a visual form or take me on a walk in imagination with you, it sticks with me a lot longer than if you just tell me or have me write something out. So as I was putting today's podcast episode together, that visual just kind of hit me. And I was like, oh, I have to share this. We've got Jordan Photographer, phenomenal episode. Fantastic. I'm so glad you guys got value. Let's see on Facebook here. Let me take a look at what we've got. Phenomenal podcast. Thank you. Awesome, New York. Thank you so much. And Washington as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Your support means more than you know. And I am surrounded by iconic individuals, and I am so eternally grateful. They say like friends are more valuable than silver and gold, and I do not take that for granted one bit. All right. Hello, Teresa. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely visuals work for me as well. Growing and glowing. Fantastic. Yes. Jordan Photographer saying, do you want your life over hard or over easy? Loved that. Well, for those of you that might have joined a little bit late or are just kind of catching that, today's episode featured excerpts from my memoir, Work in Process, actually titled Over Hard or Over Easy. And if you want more, certainly stay tuned. The publishing journey begins very soon. Still writing the book currently, but I'm taking you guys with me every step of the way, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So continue to follow me, the journey, everything happening with the book. I was happy to share a little bit today, a little excerpt from it, and just the mindset behind it. And hopefully soon, we'll get published and you guys can pick up your own copies and stuff. So that'll be ecstatic, but we're not yet there, but we're working on it. All right, guys, I'm going to close it out tonight. Thank you so much for spending your Friday night with me, for joining me, for engaging in the conversation. And the best thing you guys can do, can't even talk tonight, like, share, follow, subscribe. And again, if you would like some assistance figuring out what's next for you, helping you rise and elevate and stand out boldly in your next chapter, comment time, DM me, and I'll send you my calendar, and we'll certainly get you on the schedule. Free, 100% free, no strings attached. Okay. Well, guys, have a wonderful evening again. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.